And welcome to the Roundtable with Bill. Today I have a really cool guest for y'all today. It's Spencer Madry from the Ravens Crypt, the owner, operator, and creator. And how you doing today, Spencer?
I'm doing pretty good. Appreciate you having me on your show.
You're welcome, man. No problem. I'm glad you was able to do it. So basically, I just wanted to, if you wanted to, you could just talk about how you created Ravens Crypt, where you got the idea, how it all come about, and everything. And we'll just kind of have a conversation and go from there.
Well, I've been working on, for a few years, I was working on trying to come up with a way to get Edgar Allan Poe's work out there more. I'm a really big fan of Edgar Allan Poe and Gothic literature in general. And a big reader. I read all the time. Well, I don't read all the time right now, but a lot of times I'm big. I grew up reading all the time. And so I started a YouTube and tried to do that with video playing in the background and stories being read. And that wasn't taking off like I wanted to. So then I was like, well, how about my graphic designer does all the graphic design work for me? He's big into records. And I was like, well, why don't we put it on record, even if it's just for us, and we'll try to sell them. And so we went that route. And honestly, the first one, I only ordered 500 of the first one we did last year. And it just took off. It went crazy. And Waxwork that does the records out of New Orleans, they posted on their Instagram that they were doing that for us. And they just sold out in no time. So I had to hurry up and do another batch. And then I had to do our readings for us. And we started on some other projects. Thulu, which is really good. And then got a Raven 45. And then either tomorrow or Monday, I'm supposed to go pick up Krampus, which has been on, oh my God, it's been waiting on it for a minute.
Yeah.
Then everything else is backed up at now too. So I'm going to have a busy year getting these backlogs fixed up. And hopefully by mid-year, we can get to a point where we can offer some more stuff. But by now, I'm just so backed up with everything being behind and not having a clear picture on if I do a pre-order, when I can get them in. I kind of put that on hold, and we're just really trying to push out what we've already got on pre-order now, and until the industry gets a little calmed down or whatnot, and I can actually give some dates and meet those goals and dates, because right now it's a mess. So anyways, that's just a quick little snippet of it anyways.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. And I wanted to say too, myself, huge Poe fan myself, and I actually been to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum there in Richmond, Virginia. And I want to go, hopefully here within the next year or so, I want to go to the Poe Festival there they have in Baltimore. But you notice, like, I got like a couple Poe audio books, like CD and stuff. But when I forgot how I came across your website now, or your Facebook or whatever. I guess because I'm just a Poe fan, I guess. And but anyway, and when I saw that, which was this one right here, I saw Bonnie, and I was like, man, I gotta have that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what started me down the road. And then it wasn't too long after I had pre-ordered that. Then I saw this one, the 45, come out, and you had a bundle. And I think you might. Do you still have the bundle? I know you had the T-shirt.
Yeah, we had it with a shirt, and we did many of those. So what we actually sold the last bundle probably like a couple weeks ago. All those sets. Could order more shirts and stuff, but I haven't decided yet if I want that just to be the way you got it. I got the cassette. Hold on, I got one somewhere.
Yep.
Well, I got one over there open, but yeah, you open it up, you'll notice that the design on that 45 is pretty similar to the Raven design on that in the booklet. Then when you open it up, and so we're going to do a series of all the stories on there on a 45 in time, and we're going to come out with all of them will come out with their own shirts and design. So looking into that. I mean, that's kind of planned to do that. And then I got the second Poe one I don't know exact date on it yet, on when it's coming. I don't have any dates on any of the rest of the stuff at the moment. And I got these coming in, and then it's going to take me a couple of weeks to get all these out. And then I'm hoping when I go pick them up, I'll find out some dates, some of the other stuff, but see how busy they are and stuff. A lot of back and forth, and so when I get audio done, I have to send it and see if it works. and then they have to do test pressings and then send it back. And if anything's wrong, then we have to do it over. And if it has to be done over, that means the whole aluminum disc that molds them has to be redone. A big mess if you don't have it right. So, like I think it was on Call of Cthulhu, we had an issue with something on there, and that's why it got backed up a little bit when it did, because they had to start. We had to redo some of the audio because there was like too many lows or something that didn't work right on vinyl. So when you're a new company, it's just something you run into these walls, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll work through this issue. I got a bunch of ideas for vinyl, and we got some other projects too that I really want to work on. I think I got a little ahead of myself trying to put too much out at once, and then production get behind, and then it's just a big chaotic moment. It's growing pains, trust me. Something I'm learning myself, but I got a bunch of ideas of other products too that go along with the listening experience and audio files and stuff like that I'm kind of excited to do, but I got to get some of this off my plate before I can learn a whole thing. You know?
Understand it. Now, do you do most of this yourself, or do you have like someone to help you?
I got my mom. She'll help. She'll come over and help me when I do shipping and stuff. Then I have my graphic designer in the north side of the state. He does amazing work. He does all the graphics. And then got the guy that does the audio. He lives in Canada. And then had some other projects going on too at the same time, like little Allan Poe game I started working on, and did a Raven hunt, like duck hunt game, but it was Raven, and some other things I messed with last year when work was plentiful. And so there's some things like that it was fun. I have another guy that on the East Coast that he does a lot of programming for me, and he does amazing work. But yeah, home front at the moment, it's just when stuff comes in, I got a group of friends together and get them to come help me wrap up stuff because there's so much stuff to go out. But yeah, not like a lot of people when they email me or message me, I'm not like a people person. So I'm kind of like brash, and they're like, I can't wait any longer. And I'm like, hey, y'all can cancel. And they're like, well, I don't want to cancel. And I'm like, I don't have any options for you. It's just me. You know, I thought you was just this big company. I'm like, no, it's just like a man with a dream, just a blue collar worker with a dream and stumbling his way through it. You know, not like a thing or business thing. It's, and then a lot of people don't like, you need to order like a big batch. That comes out of my pocket. I got to order. I got a plan to try to order enough that'll cover everything. It's not just I got to pay somebody to do the audio. I got to do all the graphics, and then I got to do all the test pressings, and then I got to order the whole batch, and then all the sleeves have to be done. And my graphic designer, he told me one time, he was like, you can just do like a sleeve, and you don't have to do the inner sleeve, or you don't have to do an gatefold, and I'm like, if it's not like top of the line, heavier vinyl, what's the point? Like, it's just a little cheap product that somebody's putting out. I want it to be like when you open it, you're like, oh, and you love it. And I got I got some other ideas I'm going to do in the future with, I'm going to do a board game where when you open it up, you use the inside of the record as a board game. You know, you have it all shipped, packed like a vinyl, and you get a vinyl and you get stuff like that like I play with my head, and I'm like, I could do something like this, and I have to that information to my graphic designer, and then he has to try to put something together along the lines. And we didn't even, like, the guy that does my audio, but my games and stuff, we didn't even know what to do as a second vinyl, because it was like, okay, we've already done Poe, and I don't want to put out too much Poe right back to back. We got to come out with another something. And like, why don't you do Cthulhu? And I was like, I had never been a big never been introduced to him, and I was like, Lovecraft, and I was like, I have to listen and see. And so we're like, yeah, we'll do that. And team that I built kind of shaped the brand as we go, and we'll just kind of just take ideas on what wants to do what, and I'm like, yeah, that's good, we'll try it. And so we did that, and then Jeffrey Dahmer when I'm working on, and it's about got it ready. I don't have all the artwork done yet. I think it's going to be a good one, and it's just like not anything like, I wouldn't say spooky or scary or nothing. It's more like, it's just facts, just going over the story of what happened, and everything, and it's just a way to listen to stuff that we like in a different format. And it is a creepier format when you listen to stuff. I'm in that really I'm excited about, and just it doesn't matter to me. It's not about profits or anything. It's about when we get away with on vinyl, like when we bring that somebody else ain't bringing to the table. A lot of people sometimes think that we have records. They do some vinyl. I didn't know about them when we started, and I got some of their stuff now, and they do great work too. And and stuff, but they've been doing it for a long time. And people are like, "Oh," I'm like, I'm not in competition with anybody." Sometimes people make comments and like, "I only listen to so and so," and I'm like, "Well, have you even listened to ours? Like, even listen to these other ones? Like, don't listen to just one? Like, I love listening to all. I got 2 or 3 different Raven formats that I bought just to listen to it, like other people listening to it. Like one of my favorites is on YouTube. What's his name?
Price?
No, Lee. Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can listen. I can put that on the TV and just listen to it on YouTube. So he does it. That's a really good one. I love that one. And so it's not about that, in my opinion. It's about keeping it alive and keeping it out there. One of the things I told my graphic designer when we came out with it and we put out a few products so far, I'm like, you know what the coolest thing about all this is? And he's like, what? And I'm like, Matt, when you pass away, you have a legacy of having your name on product out there that'll be in collections for generations. Like me, that's just a special feeling. You don't have to make all this money, and I don't have to build all this wealth and be some bad guy in the news for my legacy out there. I can just create some stuff and just put it out there in the world, and if they accept it, that's fine, and if not, we'll do better next time.
Earlier, right before we had started recording there, I was telling you I was working on a novel there. Well, anyway, I've actually got a couple poetry publications out, and Poe was one of the reasons why I ever picked up a pen to begin with.
Yeah,
I was coming up, I would read this stuff and everything, and this was kind of like, it was good, but it was like it didn't speak to me. And then when I started reading Poe's stuff, I was like, this guy's talking right to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel what he is writing and everything. And it was like, so I dove like into the world of Poe, and like on my wall back there, you can't see it, but I've got 2 parchments hanging up of like, one of them is the Raven and the other one's Annabelle Lee.
Yeah.
That I bought from the museum there in Richmond or whatever. And see, another thing I wanted to say too about the stuff that you're bringing out, like the stuff, like, I'm not knocking the Poe Museum, okay? I think it's a great place, and I think it's you want to go see Poe artifacts and stuff like that, and maybe even pick up some stuff. It's a great place to go. But I hate to say it, but some of their like store, I want to say, kind of to a certain extent. At one time, they did have like audio CD that I bought that had a couple of his like some poems and stuff on it, and I picked it up. But they do, and they have some books and stuff. But other than that, man, I hate to say it, but some of the stuff is just like for price too. I was like, so it kind of makes me hard to like paying the price for some of it. But like not even offering anything like you offer, like you doing stickers, and I have like design T-shirt, and they have like I have different stuff. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, how can you beat Edgar Allan Poe on vinyl? You know what I'm saying? It's
I got you.
Right up my alley because I'm a vinyl collector anyway. And what I think is really cool too is like how you're using Waxworks Records to your vinyl and everything, and they do such great work. Like I had a few Waxworks myself. Like I got Zombie was doing a line with them, and I've got was a House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
And I actually did one of his. I think I got House of 1,000 Corpses, and probably one other one I think I've got too. But,
I got like Nick Turtles. I got them from them and some other ones. I'm not ever big into the horror stuff, but some of the stuff they got, like do the whole line of Godzilla and stuff like that. Yeah. I pick them up when I see them, and I got some of the other stuff too because they just got awesome soundtracks. So we listen to them all the time here at the warehouse, and I like them because they're real. And started Dream just like anybody else, and heck, they're a major player now, and to be able to be a small operator like me and be able to get my work done by them, even if it might be a little bit more premium, it makes the world to me. It makes me feel like I'm putting out something worthy of putting out. And lately, I might have to find someone else to put out some of my stuff just so I can get back to a schedule that works. they're getting a lot of big movie house stuff, like reaches out to them and Netflix, and they're putting out a lot of the movies and all the Godzillas. And so, they come to them and they want this huge order. If I'm a day late or a minute late on getting my order in, there's jumps ahead. And so there's stuff like that. On this that we have coming out, we originally was going to have it on the hand press, and so the design's going to look a little different, which I hate because the hand press was too far out. Like, it probably wouldn't get done till summer. I went with that, so you have to choose: do I change the a little bit that can work with the poured vinyl, or do I wait? And so it's like, we'll see if. When we just found out this last week when they sent images of our the colors and stuff, what they could even do. So, to wait even longer, and no, we're going to stick with what we had originally designed, or change it up, and hope everybody okay with the tweak. That's just something a small company got to figure out. It's still going to be amazing. It's still going to be waxwork record, colored vinyl, everything. It's just you can get more particular with the pattern if it's press. If you see it in the videos, that's what comes out, and roll it by hand, and they can put the spackle in there pretty much however you want. And on real small limited runs, they can do it exactly how you want. You're paying way more per piece, but they can do exact. But in the poured, you save so much, not even worth enough on what you save, but they can do it in bigger quantities quicker. And it wasn't the money aspect, but it was just the time. It was either, like I said, these big movie houses, they want records, and they all want them hand pressed. It takes months. It might take months. I don't know. And I know it takes long enough. It pushes it out so far, and it can fit me in. And you just said some of it is I send them the stuff I need to send them, and then I got to change something. Then somebody can jump in front of me on the press because I'm not done on my end. Yeah. And so and sometimes it might take a week for me to get the crew up and change something. And when we first did, what was it? When we first did Cthulhu, it was supposed to be one single vinyl. Well, that's because I didn't do enough research and realized the story was too long for a single vinyl. So I first started selling them, I sold them as singles. And I had to take the hit personally when I had to go, okay, up the price. And okay, going forward, here's why the price change is actually a double. Yeah. It's like I said, it's a big learning curve when you start something and you have to learn all the twists and turns of an industry.
Yeah. So. I said that's a good thing, man, because then you time, okay, we're in down this road, and now I'm able to tweak, like you said, figure out something quicker than I would have last time, everything. So like I said, I honestly believe, man, making mistakes is a lot better than getting everything right the first time, because you're really learning to a certain extent, right?
I'll tell you. And honestly, the community, man, I love the community that we've built around Ravens Crypt so far, because I have the big opportunity to be frustrated, and some of them are, but they'll call me and like, is this Ravens Crypt? Not realizing it's one person. I'm like, Spencer, I was calling about my order, and I'm like, owner, the one that picks up the phone, the one that answers your email, and seem frustrated sometimes, but like, hey, we're doing what we can, and I'd say 99.9% of the time, like no, I'll wait. I figured you forgot about me because I hadn't got it yet, and I'm like, man, our whole business is on hold. Like, I had to come up with another way to even pay for the warehouse because everything's on hold, and that means there's like pre-order money coming in for what's out there, but the money comes in when you do a new pre-order. And then that pays somebody to do the audio and somebody to do the artwork. And then when that stops coming in, the extra money for like deals, come in no more. You're only getting enough in there, to just to keep people paid. Now, everybody that works for me is everybody was freelance, so everybody kind of want to, but they work while we're dealing with this. And so it makes me feel bad because I'm like, I'm going to keep you guys busy, and then I can't uphold my end, but we'll get there. We tried to do too much too quick, and the industry changed just a little bit on me, and so it's just bleeding me a little bit.
Yeah, understandable, man. Always kind of patient with stuff like that. You understand that stuff too. Funny, the reason when I first contacted you or whatever, I wasn't sure if you were the owner or not because I had seen some videos and stuff where you had a girl doing some stuff for you or whatever it was, and I didn't know if it. And the way she had come off, and not that that's a bad thing. Like I thought she had owned the company, and it was like however that was or whatever.
Well, you like watching ladies on Instagram and TikTok, and more than they
Yeah.
like me. So I let Ray to pick up more work too because I haven't had the funds to keep her at the shop at the warehouse. She's a firefighter. That's what she does. And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So she's doing that, and she hadn't been by in a while, but she's supposed to be the one that's doing the other 45 that we're coming out with. So she did the artwork for it, and then but hopefully soon we'll have a finished product on that, do the audio. And yeah, I told her, I said, you just take care of the social media part, and I'll just be in the background. Nobody even knows I'm here. I just like seeing this stuff come out and people excited about it. And you know how it is. Girls can get on them TikTok and Instagram, and they get a lot more attention than we would.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to see me on there.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, hey, if you can get it to.
I think you froze up. Can you hear me?
About that. Sometimes my internet wants to cut out like that.
Okay, there you are. Trying to be real still, so they thought we both froze. There you are.
Yes, about that. Sometimes.
I think you're back now.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, you good? It happens.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted something. I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
I actually have a spoken word album myself.
Sweet. What you got?
It's poetry. It's like a spoken word album.
Yeah. Send me a link to it. Wherever you
got this printed up when I was in college. Well, I have them personally or whatever. I can send you one. It doesn't matter. You can just give me your address personally, and I'll send you one.
Yeah, hit to you.
All right. Cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
because down at the bottom, that's all my Edgar Allan Poe. Well, not all of them ain't rare, but some of them are Edgar Allan Poe stuff. And then up here, that's all my Lovecraft. It's not as big. That's more of a recent thing.
Yeah, you see something with Poe on it, you have to grab it or whatever. And that's why, like me, I probably got 10 or 15 collections of Poe, but each one of them has a really cool damn cover, and I gotta have that. You know what I mean? So
when I'm working all the time and I got money out, I splurge a little bit. Like these two are commentaries on Edgar Allan Poe. They're kind of valuable. And then this Graham, this is has one of the original Poe stories in it, and in its original format. So it's like a first edition of his work.
Nice.
Because at first he just put it into like this. He didn't actually in newspapers. A lot of it was in newspapers or books like this, and so it wasn't like a own book. And so let's see which one it is, but yeah, I get stuff like that or this one. And I just happened when I was working in Detroit, and there's a bookstore up there, a pretty good size one, and they had some rare stuff. So I was making good money on that job, so I got those. But
yeah.
The time it's more of a thrift store find or a sale find or something, you know.
I totally understand that, man. I'm surprised that, like, it's funny. I was actually in Cracker Barrel one day, and the old country store kind of added on to it, and I actually seen some Poe stuff in there, which was kind of weird, but it was pretty cool too. I was like, you know,
crazy how trying to type this out to you. Now he's come back around. Like, the bookstores at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, they'll have a little section. They'll have like Poe figurines or whatnot. Yep. And I think this glass tumbler I got in this cabinet, I got it in, I think it was Savannah, Georgia or somewhere a couple years ago. I went and they had that. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, it's crazy how his stuff just come back around recently, and a lot of people are back in it and enjoying it and like that. So yeah, pretty excited to be, lead the charge on people that are rediscovering him or hadn't even heard of him before in a format. A lot of people doing audiobooks. I know Cahaba Records is, and I think they run through a lot of stuff, and they run through a lot of Poe stuff too. And then some other things that they have. I got a few other ones by them. We plan on doing, like, we have fairy tales we're working on. Supposed to be out too already, and we're trying to finish it up and get it out. Stuff like that we're trying to do and trying to bring to other formats that like the little games I've been working on. I was wanting to put them, see if I could get them in like Tuesdays on the little tabletop games.
Oh,
And,
nice.
where people pay $1 or whatever. And so that was kind of my goal with it. Started with Tamerlane because Tamerlane is Poe's first in the game. I don't know if you played it yet, but it's you can get to it. I think it's like I sent everybody free tokens that was on the site, but I think that got missed by a lot of people. But it's a fun little game. It's just almost like a Mario style game, but you go through the different levels and stuff, and it plays really good. And then it reads the whole story is read by Steven that does the audio. He actually reads that whole story throughout the game. Each level, he reads a portion of it at the beginning, the beginning of the level. And it goes through chapter or whatever of the story. And so it's kind of cool. I have a larger game that I was working on. And it's the more exciting one. I got the maps done for it. And it's more like a long-term project. And it was going to be like like Threads of Fate, and is the name of it. If I can pull it up, the image I had made for it. But no, we didn't come here to talk about games, but it's just another avenue that we as a company trying to work on to get some cool games out there that you don't have to pay every time you want a token on your phone.
Yeah.
Oh shit, like that, they're aggravating. But we were trying to do some stuff like that, but we'll get them out there and eventually.
Hey, that's cool, man. I'm glad to see you doing stuff like that because, like I said, nobody else. It just seems like everybody always puts out the same bland stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love Poe, and if I see something interesting, if I got the money, I'm going to splurge on it. But it's just like most of the people have put out stuff that's already been put out. And like I say, you're kind of doing like the sets, and you're doing the designers and the 45s and stuff like that. And it's like, all this, and I was like, listen to this. And I've done it a few times. Like I down at night right before I go to bed, and I'll throw this in my little that I bought there and play this and listen to it and fall asleep listening to it. So that's what I like about it. It's like nobody else is doing that. And I'm like, why?
Just talking about books and stuff. There's a little booklet that I've been working on. And it's the Raven. And on one side of the page, you have like a blot, and on the other side, you have this. So I've been working on that, and I was hoping I could do them. I got a pretty fancy printer, and so I was hoping I could print them out here and do them. When you're working on so much stuff, you kind of talking about it makes me think I need to get them up. But this is like the back of it. There's like
I love that image.
Yeah, so we're trying to do something like that, and graphic designer, he put out a little booklet, and I was like, man, I love that. And so he does a lot of collages and stuff. I was like, I need to do something like that for Ravens Crypt. And I was like, what if I just did like the Raven, this short story, and there's stuff like that I'm working on. Then I'm always working on stuff and coming up with ideas, and we plan on coming up with this next release, because I already did the lead for it with ads and stuff. Whatever not on there, I'm gonna really bring the store back down to kind of like core, maybe a few t-shirts, stickers, and get rid of some of the extras, because it's just like some of it's not really following my brand the way I want to. And so I want to bring it down. I want to shrink it back down to the core items, and then where we have everything in stock here, and having other people make them for us. And so that's in the plans for the year, is to kind of back just a little bit as a brand and put out a lot of the stuff here ourselves. And then I think I'm going to work on some other projects too that's goes along with brand, and not feel like I'm pressured to put out more and more all the time. I'm focus on what we want to do as a brand, and not feel pressured to we need to put something else out right now kind of gig. Like I feel that way, and nobody's making me feel that way. It just I want to work on the boxes. Like I want to do boxes that are shaped like little coffins, and t-shirts and stuff. So when you buy shirts and stuff, you can it's a couple of my just mock up.
Nice.
Stuff like that. Like I want to get back to where, so when you get some from us, you're like, wow, on everything, no matter what you get, that we can really together as a brand and do something that other people ain't doing, and that's exciting to me. And that plan for the year is to get out what we got out, and then to really make everything that much more creative. Experience when you order something to be just like, wow, not just the vinyl, but the boxes and everything. So we're working on a lot of stuff like that. I know you saw the tape. I did the tape. I custom made the tape and stuff that's
Nice.
wrapped around the packaging and stuff. So little stickers and stuff that say "Do not bend" and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Well, I wanted to say personally, thank you for the package that you sent me and everything. You definitely do that and everything. If you ever need like just to like, got this out, just let me know. I'll put it on my Facebook or whatever and try to help you out as much as I can, man. Because
I will support you just like you support me. You know, when you did that, we were excited when you posted that for us, and I was like, I want to send him a gift box, and so we got some stuff together. I'm like, send him all this stuff and appreciation, and there's only been like 2 people or so. There's another lady out of like does photography for a living or something, and she did a good little blurb about us on her Instagram and made us feel special. So we sent her a little package, and other than that, we've somebody that was going to review. We had somebody this guy that has a YouTube channel in Florida, and he's done the same thing, reviewed it for us, and I think he's doing pretty good with his channel. So I try to, I want to support people that support us because, like I said, it's just a small group, team.
Yeah.
I can support the same type of people, small and trying to get something going. And as we grow together, as you grow and I grow and these other people grow, then we'll know we had somebody else that we can, if we're growing fast, maybe we can pull them up. And if they're growing fast, maybe they can pull us up. And stuff out there for everybody. So that's kind of the way I look at it. And so we try to do that. Here, you said there's just a few of us, so
yeah. See, that's one of the reasons why I started this new podcast called The Round Table with Bill, because I want people to understand what it's like to be either a small business or an independent artist or an independent author or a content creator just starting out or whatever. Like I used to be for a little while when I lived in New York. I moved back to South Carolina. I've been home about 8 years now, but I lived in New York for a while, and I was a radio DJ for a little while. And then, so friends and some people I know that are like radio DJs that they agreed to kind of have a conversation and stuff with them, but just kind of, get like what it's like being an independent artist or an independent or whatever in the struggles and the success and everything. And maybe like somebody said, well, I didn't doing something like that. Maybe I'll try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those things.
What's awesome about the community out now is there's a lot of stuff that's no longer gate kept. Now we got laser cutters. We got everything, and we got doing vinyl press. And now they're good, but there's still a lot of small ones out there, and so much out there now, and then even with AI, you can use that to pitch if you don't know something, and they might not always give you the best info or the right info, but at least it's pushing you down the road a little further and helping you out, and you, hey, what about this? And it'll shoot you something, and then you can be like, that's kind of what I want, and then you can shoot the idea to your graphic designer or your artists, and they can make it exactly what you want. And to me, it makes it a little easier for everybody because there's nothing else back anymore. There's I got on radio my amp the other day, and I took a video of what was going on and had to figure out what obviously I'm gonna send it off to get caps or something done, but at least I could figure it out. Like, hey, I need to get this done, and so yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that we're no longer like constrained like we were with information. It's all out there. All we gotta do is get there and try to find it. It's pretty fine. So. Oh
yeah, but yeah, I just say when I ran across it and I was like, stuff is cool, man, and I got in when I think I bought my first vinyl I ever bought with my money was Black Sabbath with Solo Soul for Rock and Roll.
Georgia on My Mind is the first thing I got. So
yeah, and and I've been like a vinyl hound, and it's just like, but I'm sitting here and like, once in a while they'll bring out a soundtrack or something on vinyl or whatever it is, but then I ask worse, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, look at some of this cool stuff they're bringing out, and like I read the soundtrack to they were here about a month or so back. So yeah,
they got some ones coming out, man. I can't keep up with them all. It seems, my buddy graphic design, he has, I'd say like at least 80 of the collection, and even I was talking to him, and they're putting it like
yeah,
and then how you want to collect, you want to put out everything that they do, everything they do for them is a little different, because some of the stuff actually goes to stores. And so it's kind of like, and then the variants, they'll do a variant that you can only buy from them, and they do a variant that's just for one place or another, and different colors and different looks. And that's why on our the record is that blood splatter, and then smoke look is on the second one of the first vinyl. And now we're just it's cool what you can do with it. I mean, they can do with that stuff now, and now everybody's Waxworkers, they're going to be coming out with liquid again.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to jump on board with it for the Damer, but wasn't ready.
Okay.
Not for all of them, but for the short run that we're doing it. And so, but if they'd been ready, that would have been sick. But maybe by next they'll have it taken off me.
And I was looking for the what was it? The Allan Poe, The Haunting Tales. I love the cover for that volume 2. That is just so cool looking.
Oh yeah, it's sick. His name's Josh Dunaway, and 22 Media is his company. And man, I've known him for a long time, and he does work. And, he's. Which is seeing how I've known him for so long, and in his work is starting to get out there. Like he's doing the booklets. He's in some magazines now for his artwork and his designs, and it's real. Seeing him grow into his own skin and his own that he's known for, which is really because his stuff. I actually had to do one of our posters, and it's his work and on the side, but it's real cool. It's like I'm like, hey, just do something with this and make it happen for us, and he did a good job with it. So I'm excited about having him on the team and him the artwork.
And the funny thing about the volume 1, it actually it have a poster. If I can, I bought this of the Echo
Oh wow, yeah.
I've got that one there.
Okay, I hadn't seen that yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that runs on the Poe there.
Okay.
Yep. And like the cover for volume 1, I was like, where have I seen that image or kind of that image before or whatever a little bit? And I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that, so
yeah. That's my designer now if he's seen that, because I can see where you see that from.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you can put something out and not even know something's out there, and somebody thought of the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty. So, well, about you? What you? How many interviews have you so far?
Well, I've got others so far. I did a guy that I know mainly online, but anyway, he's got an award-winning podcast, and
I think I've seen that, at least some of it. I didn't know if you had put any out since then.
No, I've got people lined up. I just haven't had a chance to. When you work a full-time job, sometimes it's kind of hard to.
I know how that is. Yeah. I mean, I know how people ask me all the time, like, so like when you get all vinyls in, you're gonna get, I'll get them a few days, and I'm like, probably not. I'm like, it's just I can't wrap 700, 750 of these. And I'm like, and those are sold, and I'm like, I can't get rain in a day. I'm like, a few days I can wrap them, so. It's not like I can just, it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, but I'm working on. I can't do so much, but it's just funny because they're like, because they don't realize. Like I said, most people don't realize it's just a small. And, you make yourself look like you're a big brand. I'm like, well, that's what designers are supposed to do. They're supposed to make it look you stuff and and stuff day to day. But when you got big orders coming through, it's it's hard. You got other things you got to do, and you got to get all these records out. We tried to make a big push of it, but you can do.
Yeah, I mean, and I can do. That's just like sometimes like, and you're selling something like that, man, and it's you think it is, and then here you are, you swamped. Oh my God, I appreciate it, and I'm glad. But man, now I got all this extra work I got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he makes like little games. And he's a good old boy. And he's just little not games, little wooden things. He makes them all out of wood, and he does inlays and stuff. And he'll be backed up for like people like when he goes, this started off just a a little side gig, you know, and they like my, you know, because he's on time doing just videos and Instagram videos, and everybody enjoys watching him because he's funny and he's real. You know, he ain't say anything. Basically, tells him like, I'll get to it when I can, but he goes, you know, I got like so many orders, I get out, and here's like it is, like supposed to be a hobby. It wasn't supposed to be a full-time job, you know.
Yeah.
So I get it too. You know, there's like, I think the internet has people like, I could sell a few of these online, and then when they do take off, they're just like, how am I supposed to make these? Like, you know, especially if you like knit or you do like woodworking or something, and you do this little hobby and you having fun with it, and then next thing you know, I make.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, maybe I should more so people wouldn't buy something.
Sometimes I hate to say that. Sometimes it takes the out of it too. Sometimes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. And honestly, like last year was a big year for us and exciting. And then about November of this last year, when things kind of when I saw the pressure and the pain of things not getting done like they're supposed to,
yeah,
it really put me in a little spiral for a while and got my, you know, I kind of about it because it's all that weight. You get emails every day and people message you every day and you just, you know, they could private comment, but instead they won't call you out. And this brand, you know, I'm like, you can get your money back anytime. Like, I can refunds, you know, and you know, I'd rather, if that's what you want to do, I'd much rather give you a refund than you be, you know. And sometimes you just gotta give them a refund anyways because they're so ugly. You're like, look, I'll solve the problem for you. You ain't a customer no more, so you can have your money back because I don't want to serve you anymore as a customer, because the way you have to do is just be humanly to me. Just because I'm on the other side of the phone or online, nobody on the phone's been ugly, but just don't because I'm on the other side of it. You're not talking to some big company, you know, and it's one person on the other side of this. And I'm sorry, you know, but I'm the best I can do. And so like it's 99.9% of everybody's been and really help make me feel better but there's few people that they just don't. I think they just don't realize they're having a bad day, and then they're like, "Oh, I remember. I can take it out on this." We've all been. I know we all have.
Oh yeah. But you know, that's, you know, you take, you know, if you an album from say like an artist, most of the time they'll put that out 6 or 8 months before.
Oh, I know. Wax. You know, I mean, I've done the same with Wax. When I first got into the ordering pre-orders of records, I didn't realize, like, I knew the pre-order game for like I don't know if you ever heard of Mezco toys.
Yeah.
Action figures. Well, I knew they did pre-orders. I used to order them back years ago, and I knew the pre-order game from them. You buy, you know, you might get Christmas time, and so we'll order from Waxwork myself. You know, I messaged a week or two and was like, "Hey, I was just checking in on my order," and you know, hey, this is, you know, I'm like, I get it. I get, you know, ain't no big. I do realize that there's a lot of people that don't realize sometimes. I'll try to put it on the page and on the and everything, but some people just, they're like, "Hey, I ordered this a month ago and I still haven't got it." I'm like, "Oh, that's a pre-order. It hadn't come in yet." And I'm like, and there's people been waiting 4 months for it, you know. And they're like, "Okay, yeah, I didn't pre-order, you know."
Yeah.
And then, when you're people that normally don't buy vinyl that way, then they have to learn, you know, or other comments or tell them like, "Hey, I mean, it is anything, but do you vinyl orders online? Because this is the norm." And you know, everybody's trying to, you know, this now everybody's, from what I heard, everybody's buying. And then if it's, you know, vinyl suppliers. So in my case, some big orders get in front of me because I took a little I didn't get my ducks in a row at the time I needed to. And then when I was like, "Hey, here's all the stuff," and they were like, "Oh, well, this order came in like right before you." So they did, and I'm like, "Oh, that." And then, you know, I didn't that big of it, you know. So but so, you know, it's not them, you know. They you know, it's how one thing's money talks, you know, and quote. And if I'm not ready when the press isn't ready, then they're going to something, which is understandable. And then you wait till that press is done with that that they're working on.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just getting interrupted and flow. So it's not on Waxwork or anything. It's just they got busy. I didn't get, you know, I'm new at learning, and I didn't get all my stuff. And I had stuff sent to them, like I had all the artwork sent in and everything, but the audio, we decided at last minute to tweak some stuff. And like with Krampus, when the audio, it was only like 1 one side and another side. And so then you're like, oh, or, you know, you don't need to after you record.
Yeah.
Then you're like, we need to go back to the story and tweak it just a little bit so we can fit the record on both sides. You don't want to shortchange somebody and only have like half a record because, and you got to check, make sure. I mean, you can have somebody do audio and one day not read, you know, a little bit faster than they normally would because something's on their mind, and then you do it, you know.
Yep.
So stuff like that can happen. You know, we had it said with Call of Cthulhu, thought it was gonna be one, and it was two, and then with Krampus, when we sent in when we got the first batch of audio, I actually had to pay to have it redone because it wasn't quite long enough. And even though that only took another week to do that, it put a week behind, which obviously there was a job that was, you know, 3 months job that got put in front of us on that. So
Yeah.
so I could get behind on something and it changes the whole scope of everything, you know. So and the dominoes effects into the other project. So that's right now. That's why we're not putting out any more pre-orders right now until we get these under wraps.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just down the road.
Yeah. We backed up.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be that way. I hate that anything was ever behind. So and it's not, you know, one of the brands, what they do when they get a little behind with the project, all they have to do is do a new variant of an old project and then go ahead and run it and get it out there and give somebody excited about why they're waiting, you know. And without the case, it's like everything's waiting on this one project so we can start the next project kind of, and it's just, so, but we'll work through it on it, and we're gonna make it through it. Ain't no big deal.
Yeah, that was like when I put a short story book. I look back on it now and I kind of rushed it and I was kind of like, you know, I waited maybe 3 or 4 months and really went back and kind of, because after I put it out and I got it for probably 6, 8 months, maybe a year, I got thinking about it. I said, you know, I put maybe another month or 2 into it or something like that or something. It might be something totally different, but
Right.
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And
When you,
I'm still proud of it, you know?
yeah, no, you're proud of your work, and just because, you know, we put doesn't mean you can't make it better down the road, you know. And that's why about it, you know, we on the final you got on the second, on the 45 is totally different. We had it all done by Steven, and we're excited that he'll be doing a lot of the stuff, and I think in time we'll have another variant of it. I know I found the first 45 and from 1920s, and it sounds, I mean, obviously it's be cleaned up, but it's awesome. Like it's a whole when you listen to it by different people in different times, and so we plan on putting that out sometime as it's not audio like cleaned up and worked, but it will help on that project not having to have somebody read, but then you got to pay to have audio cleaning. And then also, obviously, all the slipcase. So it'll be too when we get to that point. But like I said, we got a bunch of good stuff coming down the road, and we're super excited about it. I got some more Lovecraft stuff we do. We got stuff that we think would be where we want to try out, and sometimes you try something out, like, okay, that didn't sound the way we want to.
Yeah.
And then you got to just figure something else out. I had a story and a design for. It's like this space pumpkin, and just a fun story, and we played around last year a little bit, and I got a work, and she does she's email newsletters out. She's out of Kentucky, and she does amazing work, and she worked me on the story a little bit last year, and I just couldn't get it how I wanted it yet. I feel like it's one of them things that I was going to put it on a 45, and it's going to be, I don't know if I can tell enough of the story on a 45, but I want it to be on a 45. And maybe do a little booklet with it, that's built in, you know, that you sleeve with it. But so I don't know yet on that one if we're gonna do it, and if we do, it needs to be part of a series, almost like a comic book style thing. And so I don't know. I haven't figured that all out yet because that's a whole different ball game and stuff. And but I did try to work on last year. So sometimes you got projects when you are a small brand that you're like, oh, I want to try this or do this, and it eats up some of your money sometimes, and you're like, oh, it ain't gonna work. We're gonna have to come up with something else. But and artwork right now, it might be something you need to wait a little to digest it. Like you said, you like sit on it a little bit and kind of mind, over the year to rummage through, kind of get it without even trying to get it straightened out, kind of thing. You just are crazy like that. When you sleep and when you do stuff, sometimes they figure out problems for you, and
Yeah.
you have an moment, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I do about that. So
Yeah.
how about you watch any of the Poe series on Netflix?
Yeah, I watched the what was it? The Follow the House Usher.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, that was good.
I watched the other one. What was that one called? It was a few years ago.
I must have missed that one.
Like a young Poe, and he's almost like a Sherlock Holmes, almost kind of.
Oh, you took Raven?
Is it called The Raven?
There's a movie called The Raven. It's got John Cusack in it.
No, this wasn't a movie. It was a Netflix series.
Oh, okay.
And I think with another series too, but series. It was pretty. It was different. What was it? Pale Blue Eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a detective recruits an astute West Point cadet named Edgar Allan Poe to help him solve a grisly murder mystery at the U.S. Military Academy. It might actually have been just a movie. It might not have been I thought it was a show, but it might have been a movie.
Okay.
The Pale Blue Eye. If you hadn't seen it, that's the one I watched. It was pretty good.
Okay.
To the House Usher yet. I thought I usually wait series until they're all out, and so I was kind of wondering if they were going to do another series. I guess the last series I watched was the One Piece. Have you seen One Piece? It's pretty cute. I didn't think it would ever be something I'd watch, but I was bored, and ended up watching both seasons. But it's kind of
well, that Follow the House of Usher. How they done it was like each almost a hour episode of like the short story. So one of them was like kind of like like Mask of the Red.
okay.
And then one of them was like kind of like the Black Cat. And then one of them was kind of they do that, but it's all kind of intertwined in the book. But it's like taking like they're taking elements, all this like big stories and mix it kind of like so it would flow from like one thing to the other or whatever. Because basically what it was about was the guy Roger, him and his sister had like this big empire. And like all his sons and all his children and stuff and stepchildren all wind up kind of like dying, like some of this stuff.
Right, yeah, I get you.
And then there's one big central character, which is a woman that kind of like the whole, and she's kind of like the real life in a way.
Got you.
And so she kind of like in a series, she's like shows up when all this is happening or whatever. So it's pretty. I like it.
I might check it out. You always wonder. You're like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna like that or not. Sometimes it's wild to watch something because if I just jump right in it, then I'm like, I'm expecting too much,
Yeah.
Then
sometimes they'll hell out of something, and then when you go watch it, it's actually disappointing as hell. It's like, what the heck?
It happens. That did not. That was what I was expecting.
Yeah. Or like where like you'll see us in the trailer, and then that got the movie all together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, they put stuff in the trailer. I hate it when you watch a movie and you say, you know what? I should just watch the trailer. It was the best part, like all put them together, and then the rest of it was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you see YouTube short, not YouTube, but people do those shorts on Facebook, and you'll watch a little snippet, like, oh, what movie is that show? And you find out like after 2 seasons of the show, you're like, well, dang, that's one part of that I watched was like the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You get, but at the same time, you're kind of disappointed at the end. You're like, yeah, that didn't even. How about the Marshall? You watch Marshall?
Oh, you're talking about Yellowstone Marshall?
Yellowstone spinoff, yeah.
Yeah, I watched like the first couple of kind of some do. I just ain't really caught up with it or what. I think I'm like 2 or 3 up behind now or something. But anyway,
it hadn't disappointed me too bad yet.
I tell you, a great show. That's that Landman.
Oh God, it's good. It's good. Yeah. I watched it. I was like, man, that's one of them shows. Honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, I ain't gonna like this. Ain't nothing I want to watch. And because a lot of people like that Tulsa, and I like Tulsa. I watched a few episodes of it, and I was like, nah, I ain't care for it, and I
Yeah.
kind of thought that about Landman. I was like, man, it's gonna be that like that. It was they did good. I don't know. Let's make it real, and
Yeah.
it's in that industry, That's right. And so it's
Okay.
so I don't drill wells, but I work at the refinery. So it's
Yeah.
they get down in the language down in them because and the whacked in that industry and stuff. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what you might say. So it's kind
Mhm.
of good.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty. This stuff come out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know of anything else I can think of. That just off the top of my head, and it takes something real good to really get me going. Hey, man, that was good. Different.
I'll throw this out here too, right quick. And taking a chance like with physical media too, with all that stuff or whatever. But I think people are starting to realize that media is where it's really at, because I always felt like when you buy an MP3 or you download something or you listen to it streaming, it's not like it's emptiness to it to a certain extent, where like you can see I can listen to this and open up and look
Yeah.
at and all that and be like, that's pretty cool. And what it like when you're in the
Yeah.
store and he's sitting on the pallet bust or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's like, and you get that with like streaming or digital. It's just like you just get it and it's like there it is. It's like, I
I
mean,
don't know.
there's advantage to it, but
Yeah, it's tactile. I don't know what it is about having something that's tactile. You can touch it, you can feel it. I mean, think of art's the same way. If you actually have it, it feels different. Like
yeah,
watch them if you've been to like the Grand Canyon, anything like that. But go to the Grand Canyon and then pick up a book or watch a video about it, and you're like, that ain't nothing special. But when you stand on the edge of that thing and you're looking down over it, you're like, wow. Like
yeah,
it's nuts. I used to a lot, and I'd send pictures home to mom or something on my phone, and then I go on a big road trip a couple years ago, and she got to see like the Grand Canyon. You send me these pictures all the time, but it is not. It's not.
yeah,
And I think the same with having it, because everybody's like, oh, is the band and all this stuff, and I can see where coming from when they have $1,000 setups, but for the most of us, we heal the piece of dust on it.
yeah,
It's not sealed and don't get dust, no, you don't get static. It's
yeah,
and that's I don't know. It hits you a different way when you something pen you put it in format in a way. Sometimes it makes it imperfect, and
yeah,
it even makes the experience. You feel like it's right there by you, like somebody's
yeah,
reading your ear. And sometimes you can't get that with I don't know. I know it's just probably mentally it's probably the same, but I don't know when you see something and you sit spinning and moving. And I set my wheel to wheel up the other day, and I got some plan on it, and I like to put something on a wheel to wheel at some point, and that's it. Does he buy that? You might only put out 20 of them,
yeah,
It's just it's out there, and it's on a format that somebody don't have to change the format. They can know in the way they want to listen to it.
yeah.
And especially when you think creepy stories and you got a vinyl record player and I don't know, it makes it a little better.
Yeah, and reading a book. Like I like having the book in my hand
Oh
and the
yeah, yeah,
sound and the feel of the page. It's like that anticipation is going to happen on this page. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's one of those things, man. And I understand it to where some people get it. Like you get to buy that stuff, then you got to store it, and you got to have a play, and you run out, and to a certain extent. But I've kind of got to where I like only buy certain stuff now. Like it's
Yeah,
it's like 10 or 15 on, and I'm saying, okay, these are the I really, really, really enjoy. So when I go to buy a vinyl or CD or whatever it is, these are I'm going to buy stuff for. And if I really want something from somebody else, I can always download it or something like that or whatever.
yeah, of
I
course.
don't.
Yeah, test, listen to stuff, and before we buy it, but once you know that's something you kind of you
Yeah.
want to hold it,
Yep.
it's fine and stuff. But when you get on a product and you can look at it and hold it, set it up in a display or whatever, I don't know, it makes it feel totally different. I don't know, it
Yep.
just that's something we'll try to work with on our vinyls is that background mood. Yeah, you gotta be. Don't want too much. You almost
Yeah.
know it's there, but you want to feel it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
and so that kind of thing, you got to make sure you know it's there, how you feel when you're listening to it, but it don't overtake the sound or the audio of somebody reading. So it almost needs to be real subtle, and that's just something we've had to go out and work with, because it just needs to be just so anything either stuff. There's background noise too, so you got to be careful and find something that work, or have somebody make something that work. And we've some of that does cellos, and to get some of the older orchestra sounding sounds, and it arsenal, so they utilize it with some you get a little bit bigger than we are to be able to finance all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you can get it just by finding an artist online, and a lot of like that have home studios, and they can record you anything. So it is. I didn't know that until recently. So it's cool that the world's moving to that. Disney ain't the ones that can have awesome soundtracks nowadays.
I know, right? I was going to ask you too. The recording for the Mask of the Red Death on the vinyl, is it different from the one on the cassette, or is it the same?
It'll be different. It'll be by Steven. Steven will be doing that one.
Oh, okay.
So we go that route with everything coming, so everybody could everybody's the way he reads. So but like the gonna be different is the let me find it. The Lizzie.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have Ray's gonna try to do the audio for that one. So we'll see how she does with it. And if it doesn't come out right, then I'll have somebody to do it. But yeah, he did good on Raven, and then he did the Telltale Heart also. But right now, the only way you can listen to it is on our. If you go to our channel, I did those. It's like a storybook. The image as you watch it, and it's kind of part of the story.
Okay.
But he did, then I uploaded it to that in that format, so it's not on vinyl yet, but it is out there. And we've been trying to do that with a lot of like Tamerlane. You can let Tamerlane in that same format. Telltale Heart's in that, and it allows people that you don't buy from us to enjoy our work. It's on there. You can listen to it. We haven't done Cthulhu yet. Haven't got it put up yet, but I will. It's not like the people buying the vinyl just pays to have the vinyl made. It's not this big money scheme or anything. It's just the project's done. It's once they're done, then the audio's done, and we can come up with a format that people could watch it on like YouTube and enjoy. We're going out there like that for people to enjoy it. And so it's not like we're not gatekeeping anything or work. We're not once we get it out there, it's for everybody to enjoy. To me, that's how more not only customers but more people that enjoy this kind of media, and more people that enjoy this kind of media, the more people that make this kind of media, or say I could do that, or I could put it up there, and so world likes what I do, and or reach out and be like, hey, I got an idea for a story, and I'll read it, and if it would do that, I mean, we don't care.
I had videos one time on one of my YouTube channels where I would set up a camera, and all you would see is like a skull and a burning candle and a burning candle, and I'd be off to the side so you couldn't see me, but I'd be reading like the Raven or something.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You still got that there, or did you take it down?
I got the video somewhere. I don't know if I got it up on one of my pages, like my YouTube or whatever, but I still have the video of it. I think I'll upload it to one of my channels and see what it does or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I think one of my stories, I think, too, on there like that. I think it was a story called A Good Night for a Walk or something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'd check it out when you send me a link if you get it up sometime, and
I
love stuff like that. That's what people don't realize. Like there ain't competition or anything anymore. I mean, you put it on, all you gotta do is if you just get a fraction of a small fraction of the world to even enjoy your content. I mean, your bills, So it's like we could all sit around watching each other's content and pay each other bills, but in the end of the day, that's just how it seems like it could be. And so it's fun. I'll get on there all the time, and I'll look up Raven, and I'll just go down and listen to have it on whatever pops up, and just see what else is out there, see what other people are doing. you never know when you might listen to somebody and be like, man, they're good. I'm gonna reach out and see if they want to, do a project or something. Yeah, anytime maybe if you're interested, we can do a project. I mean, it don't matter what it is. It don't matter if it's a book or audio or just anything. Just like we're collaborating now, just we'll find something that we feel like we can put a good product out and we'll do. I mean, that's what
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Man.
Well, I guess I'm gonna get back in here and start getting some other stuff done. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on your call.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you being here, man. And like I said, something I can for you, man, just let me know. And like I said, I appreciate it, man. And I love y'all doing, man. And like I said, even if you scale back to just some few things, man, that's still, it's like, hey, you're a lot of stuff that nobody else is, and that's
what I think is fun about it is it's putting out stuff that not only nobody else is putting out but that it's just fun. Like creating something is just it's fun. It could take 5 years from now I would have made a record and had a vinyl and my name on it. I would have. You're crazy. That's not me.
Yeah.
But now in the process, I'm like, man, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, and then it makes you think about other things. Like mats. I want to do some more of those, and we was going to try to do one. My goal was to do one that. Those optical spins, it looks like birds flying. Yeah. We wanted to do something like that. And but it just when I looked up, it's not like everybody's like, you got to record it with your phone and then watch it or something. And I'm like, well, what's the point now? I want to watch it like the Ravens flying the little 45 you have or flying around and play, So I'm trying to come out with something, but there's like I said, there's a bunch of ideas we've had and some stuff don't work, and so you're like, okay, what can it works, and so it's fun creating. The creation process is a lot, and so we're gonna keep putting out some good stuff, and we're gonna get this stuff out, and then we'll surprise everybody with some more fun projects. But nice. I gotta get through probably to the summer. Hopefully by midsummer we'll be back in, put out something for the Halloween season or something. But anyways, I'll talk to you shortly. Just keep in touch.
I will.
All right, then. Signing off.
You have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right, man.
All right, bye.